Hi, I'm Teena Clifton, your host of CruiserTV. Welcome to Sailing to Cuba Part 2. In this episode, I have a little bit of everything for you. Some inspiration, some comedy, a love story, and the straight facts. I hope you enjoy it. Special thanks to Boat Radio for sponsoring this episode. Visit boatradio.net for some interesting broadcast interviews and cruiser stories.
We know there must be more to this. We said that love could conquer anything. Well, now's the chance to give these words their meaning. Here's the chance to give these words some meaning.
During April's filming of Sailing to Cuba, I was lucky enough to run into a great bunch of people from the Sarasota Yacht Club. They celebrated their race to Havana at the Hemingway Marina. A special thanks to Alice Petret for inviting me into the festivities, and to Jean Escura for some great race photos. The festivities took place over 2 nights, with awards for both the race to Havana and a second race from Hemingway to the castle. Commodore Escrich from the Hemingway Yacht Club gave an amazing speech. Stay tuned for part of that. As well, Sarasota racers and winners of the race to the castle, Into the Mystic. Join me for a few drinks and laughs. Also chiming in on regattas to Cuba, Wally Moran gives new racers some advice on what to expect. Finally in this episode, a love story from Anna from Lodka, and a few more words from Vikki on Moriel. And this month's featured vlogger, Lost at Sea TV. And now, following the announcement of a 93-year-old sailor who sailed from Bradenton Yacht Club in Florida to Havana, Commodore Escrich gives an inspirational speech on pursuing your dreams at any age. Joe McClash opens the floor.
I want to recognize one of the sailboats, 90-year-old Russ Ward, captained his boat all the way from
destacar el señor que tiene 93 años que vino con nosotros en este crucero.
93 años. 93 años. Y vino navegando.
90 years and he came sailing.
That's right.
Hace unos días atrás
A few days ago,
tuvimos la presencia del presidente Obama.
we had the presence of President Obama.
En la palabra de nuestro presidente,
And the words of our president,
del presidente de Cuba,
the president of Cuba,
Raúl Castro,
Raúl Castro, when he addressed Obama,
señaló como un ejemplo
he pointed out as an example
de estoicismo,
of
de
stoicism,
voluntad,
of will,
de persistencia,
of perseverance
una mujer norteamericana,
in an American woman,
Diana Nayar,
Diana
que con 64 años,
that 60 years old,
cruzó nadando
crossed the sea,
desde La Habana.
swimming from Havana to Key West.
La presencia suya aquí con nosotros,
Your presence here
con 93 años,
with 90 years,
navegando de Sarasota hasta acá o de Brandon hasta acá,
sailing from Bradenton
es
to
para
here,
nosotros modestamente
is for us
un mensaje
a message
de compromiso
of commitment,
en que no podemos rendirnos ante ninguna dificultad.
that we cannot surrender under any obstacle.
Que como dijo la propia Diana Nayar,
As Diana Knight said,
nunca ser viejo,
never is too old
hacer realidad nuestros sueños.
to make our dreams come true.
That's right.
Y termino diciendo,
Yes.
And I will finish saying
y termino diciéndole algo
something
que tiene que ver mucho con nuestro Yacht Club.
that has to do many things with our yacht club.
Por eso que les pido a todos ustedes
And that's why I ask all of
que
you
nos apoyen,
to support
que nos
us
ayuden,
and help us.
que participen en este espectáculo que queremos darle a Cuba, al pueblo cubano.
I'm requesting from you to participate in this show we want to offer to our Cuban people.
Porque como dijo el Papa
As the Pope said
en su última visita a Cuba,
in his last visit to Cuba,
la vida sirve
life is good
si se sirve a los demás.
if you are good to others.
Si no se sirve a los demás,
If you're not good to
la vida
others,
no sirve.
then
Gracias.
it's not good. Now music, and you're invited for listening.
Commodore Escrich carries so much emotion in his words, it gives me inspiration to make my very own sailing dream come true. Up next, Wally Moran gives us some advice on regattas, a little history, and what to expect when sailing to Cuba.
Hello, my name is Wally Moran. I am the author of Cuba Bound, the most recent Cuba cruising guide for the North Coast. It is available from waterwayguide.com. I have just recently returned from Havana, where I led a rally of 8 boats to Hemingway from Key West. We had an absolutely fantastic time, and I'll look forward to speaking with you about that rally at another point. Meanwhile, what I'd like to discuss is what it's like to race to Cuba. The distance from Key West to Havana, Marina Hemingway, is 95 miles. That is across a fairly significant current that, as it moves further east, becomes the Gulf Stream. Depending on the weather conditions that you face, you can have a absolutely flat as a billiard table crossing, or you can have seas as high as 10, 12, 15 feet with a very short period, making it extremely difficult. The best advice one can get is during the winter season to not cross with a norther in the offing, as once the winds go into the northwest, it makes for extremely difficult conditions to enter Marina Hemingway. Not just difficult, but actually dangerous, as breaking seas can sweep a vessel out of the channel and onto the reef. One of the first races to Havana was the St. Petersburg to Havana race, which was held in 1930. However, records are obviously, for obvious reasons, very difficult to come by, and I have no doubt that there were many races that were run previous to that. There are a great many regattas currently being planned from Florida to Cuba. These are leaving largely from Key West, some from St. Petersburg and Miami, some from even further north. It would be impossible to enumerate the number of regattas available. The fastest way to find them is going to be to spend a few moments on the internet with Google. It's very easy to become a part of one of these rallies, or these regattas, excuse me. It's merely a matter of contacting the organizers and signing up as per their requirements. The reason Havana has become such a popular destination is obvious. It's been off limits for the last 50 years to Americans. However, over that period of time, many Americans did visit it, some illegally, some illegally. It was estimated that there were 40,000 visitors per year who snuck into Cuba through a third country. At the current time, it is legal for Americans to travel to Cuba, provided it is not for tourist purposes. American boats can come to Cuba for a maximum of 2 weeks before they have to leave the country under current regulations. American boaters are being extremely well received in Cuba. Cubans do understand that the problems of the past 50 years have been between governments, not between the people. They're very welcoming. They are happy to greet Americans and see Americans. They welcome the things, the tourism that Americans bring to their country, and they're very, very pleased to have us there.
And now, a little comedy from the boys on Sailing Vessel Into the Mystic. Now you are Captain Mike, and what is the name of this boat?
Into the Mystic.
Into the Mystic, nice. And what kind of boat is it?
It's a Heritage West Indies 36.
You came over from Florida?
Yeah, Sarasota.
Sarasota. And how long did it take you to get here?
Like 48 hours, right?
About 48 hours.
48 hours. And was it a good sail, or did you have any problems?
No, it's pretty good.
I would say it was a very good sail. First hour was a little hairy.
A little rough.
A little rough.
Yeah? What happened?
The new guy screwed up a little, and the captain almost went overboard. But other than that, it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Pretty decent sail.
Awesome. I heard you caught some fish.
No, that is Doug. Doug is the fisherman, and he wants to let the world know that he did catch a bonita.
Bonita.
Yeah, really...
But you have your own fish story.
Oh, well, a fish hit me in the head, yes. As apparently, when we were about to change shifts, I came on upstairs for my turn, me and Mike's turn, at the wheel for 3 hours in the middle of the night, and Doug told me this tale of flying fish.
Right.
And which I did not believe him, because I don't believe half the stuff he says. But, no, I was sitting right there, and sure as hell, a fish flew up, hit me right in the head.
Nice. Did you get a little concussion on that?
No, well, it depends. If Mike has workers' comp insurance, then maybe I do have a concussion. If he has nothing, then I'm fine.
And the fish was fine too, by the way.
The fish was fine?
Flopping around,
yeah. We threw him in the water, and he lived to tell a tale.
Nice. Hey, look who it is!
Oh, Doug's finally aboard.
Where were you?
I was talking to the people on the boat behind.
Oh, really?
Is the interview over?
Were you trying
No, I'm just testing the camera.
Were you trying to sell something?
Just getting a few seconds here and there. What were you doing, Doug?
As it turns out.
I was talking to some of the folks that actually sailed all the way into the to the end of the race.
Whoa, you can't say that language, Johnny.
Sorry, internet.
I thought you could edit this out.
Yeah, we can edit it out.
Cable, right?
They had they were sailing the spinnaker on one side, wing and wing with spinnaker and a jib on the other side.
The Hunter?
Yeah. So they had a nice trip in.
First of all,
Yeah, Doug.
let's get started on the right track here.
What was your first sailing experience like? Is that the question?
No.
Yes.
The question is, you fellas arrived in Havana here at the Hemingway Marina.
We did.
Winning a race, is that correct?
I would say the best way to say that is that we arrived before everybody else.
So you arrived first, and what was the?
It was a race going from Sarasota to Havana. There was an option to turn our engines on or to sail the entire way. We did a little of both.
Right.
But we did arrive first. We feel that arriving at the bar was a significant
We turned on our motors because of an emergency. Dolphins were attacking us.
Dolphins were attacking the boat.
We had about 20 porpoises or dolphins surround the boat. We were afraid for our life.
Correct.
And
the captain says this is true.
Captain Mike, he's a distant cousin of Captain Ron, by the way.
Was to fire up the engines and get away from the dolphins in a safe maneuver. Call that dolphin avoidance maneuver.
Yes. So we didn't want to hurt any dolphins.
It's a famous sailing tactic.
To put on the motors and run from dolphins.
Yeah.
They're fierce. They're fierce. They surround you in numbers.
There was thousands of them.
Are the dolphins fiercer than the flying fish?
Yep. Between flying fishes and very aggressive porpoises, we decided to turn on
right between the eyes by a flying fish.
Concussion.
2 a.m. A 15-pound flying fish hit Nick directly in the head. We believe there was some trauma.
Trauma?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Did you get to see a doctor?
He's our medic, by the way.
Did you see a doctor, Nick?
No, but I plan on seeing a doctor in Cuba and getting a penicillin shot. But that's a different story. That's a totally different trauma.
True sailors will not go to a doctor after getting hit by 15-pound flying fish.
It's good luck, right?
It's good luck.
It's good luck.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you arrived first, and the first one's in the bar.
Correct.
True.
And
which is the true declaration.
what do you think so far about Cuba? Is this your first time in Cuba?
It is.
Yeah.
Love it.
First time in Cuba.
Love it.
You love it,
First time in Cuba. Beautiful country.
right?
Beautiful waters
It's not the like.
coming in.
I'm surprised about so many women
People are
from Canada.
friendly.
Surprised about that. Women.
There's a lot of women from Canada here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. Didn't think that.
The Canadians are a little odd, a little crazy.
But I haven't heard anyone say, yeah, eh, afterwards.
I can say that if you like.
Yeah.
Would you like me to say eh?
Yeah, I think it would make it feel more Canadian.
Well, I've been living in Mexico for a while, so sometimes I forget to say eh.
Teena,
¿Dónde es el baño?
Teena, are you curious about how many fish we caught along the way?
I heard you caught a magnificent, huge fish, and it wasn't a flying fish.
Oh, flying. Well, we did catch several flying fish along the way. Also, some tuna.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any photos to?
We can validate our tuna catch. I believe we're going with a blackfin tuna.
Blackfin tuna.
Oh, you told me it was a bonita.
No.
Yeah, that's what you told me.
Never mind, we have pictures. It was a bonita, and we put him, and we delivered him back to the ocean to make more bonitas.
Never been on.
Okay, hold on. I need you to tell me who you are specifically and what your job was on the boat.
He was the gas attendant. Can't you see by his shirt?
He's
the gas station.
Boston.
My name is Doug Rickel. I am from Maynard, Massachusetts. Only in Maynard is the statement that we say in Maynard.
He's in charge of the fuel.
Fan of the Red Sox, the Celtics, Patriots. We all know the Patriots. I was in charge of the fuel, mostly.
In a sailing boat, that's kind of a big job,
if you saw
isn't it?
how much that we engined, I think you might think that my job was a little
leave that part out.
important than the rest.
This is a cruising website. We can leave out the engine. It's not a powerboat website.
The fuel man on the sailboat. That's a good task. I like to crew. I would like to crew as a fuel girl.
Yeah.
On a sailboat.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Still,
I mean, you gotta have a shirt like this first and foremost, because we're not fit on your shirt.
You're a chef on board and a fuel man.
I was a chef on board. I did order some salmon candy from what's the thing? From Oregon.
Is that why the salmon tastes like that?
You caught a fish and you didn't eat it. How come?
You gave me Oregon?
The bonita is known not to be a fish that you would actually consume.
Oh, okay.
Maybe use as bait. Still tuna, but not your best eating fish.
Okay.
So we decided to put them back.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
Eat the salmon candy, however.
Salmon candy. And where did the salmon candy come from?
Alaska, smoked salmon with brown sugar and Leah Pepper's soy sauce.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And how about, did you actually eat anything from the ocean? I mean, that you caught?
Nick over here was actually hit in the head by a 50 mile an hour wayward,
this big. It was gigantic.
poorly navigated flying fish.
I think it had teeth too, so
May have had
a bit
teeth.
dangerous.
It may have been a hybrid barracuda flying fish.
Some kind of genetically modified flying fish.
We believe
perhaps
that is true.
Dragon with some dragon DNA.
Castro has been experimenting with some sort of tenacious flying fish.
The captain promised me a mermaid would jump in the boat. That never happened. So we had to set a flying fish.
What was that, Mike, about Castro? Did you say?
Politics. Way to go, Captain.
I heard you mumbling about Castro. You said he was a great guy, right?
No, it was Doug. It was the fuel attendant.
Castro has been nothing but accommodating to us since we've been here. We believe he has not genetically modified any sort of fish, but is what I said.
Thank you for clarifying, because we don't want to get in trouble about accusing Castro of genetically modifying any flying fish.
But Nick was struck in the head by a flying fish.
Yeah,
Nick is over here, and I think he ate that fish, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think me and Captain Mike already set the record straight that we put the fish back in the water so it could live.
There's the blood.
Fight
Look,
another
you
day.
might want to get a picture of that.
Oh,
There's the blood.
it's right near my bag there.
It was.
I thought that was a fish blood.
No.
It's a combination of both
I
fish
think
blood.
I lost consciousness for 30 minutes and the boat somewhat steered itself.
It was about
it was almost on automatic or something. It was bizarre.
Nick is still not right.
Still a bit traumatized.
There's only one cure for that. You know that.
What?
There's only one cure.
Rum.
Well, there's some Cuba Libres at the bar, maybe.
All right, Dr. Teena. I will take that RX and I'll run with it. All right.
Although the boys on Into the Mystic did not win the race from Sarasota to Havana, they did, however, win the race from Hemingway to the castle. Congratulations, guys, and thanks for the beers and laughs. And now a love story from Anna on Lodka.
My name is Anna. My boyfriend's name is Renat. This is our boat. The name of our boat is Lodka. In Russian, that means a boat. So we're from Russia. I'm from Moscow. Renat is from Moscow too. And to live in a boat, that was our dream. We are very optimistic people, so I hope that will be very interesting and wonderful trip. We have a lot of things to clean, to repair. We should prepare our boat for living in the sea.
Where have you been traveling?
What?
Where have you been traveling?
Renat bought this boat in Florida, United States, and he's coming from Florida to Havana. This trip took him 1 month, and I flew from Moscow by plane, and we met here in Havana.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is a story, a very romantic story, because I was waiting him in Moscow for 1.5 year. Yes, he made a lot of reparations in the boat, and that was very hard. But we are together. Now we are together. Yes.
Very nice
together
story.
In a boat, Lodka.
Very nice story. Can I get a quick picture of your boat?
Yes, yes.
Okay. How big is this boat?
It's 30 feet.
30 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. I'm so happy for you.
Yes, we have a little boat dinghy.
Yeah.
I call it Santa Ana.
Oh, yeah.
That's the name of the big boat, Spanish boat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. This is Santa Ana and this is Lodka, a little boat.
Very, very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful travel.
Yeah.
In Sailing to Cuba Part 1, we heard from Vikki on Moriel. She gave us some great information on sailing to Cuba. In this episode, she talks about the people in Cuba.
Havana is very interesting. There's a lot of architecture and there's a lot of culture. And getting out in the country is interesting because it's very green, it's mountainous, and there are plantations. It's very fertile. But the thing that makes Cuba, I think, so great is the incredible experience we've had with the people. The people of Cuba are absolutely incredible. They're very proud people. They're very accommodating. They're very entrepreneurial. They will help you with whatever you need help with. It's very safe here. But it's mostly, I would say, the people that have made this trip stand out for us. And I would definitely come back to Cuba. I will come back to Cuba. And a lot of it has to do with the people. They'll show you pictures of their family. They'll talk about their house. They'll talk about family in the States. They talk about how they live. They open up about a whole lot of things, and they're very proud of their country. The flag is flying everywhere. The American flag now is next to the Cuban flag in a lot of places, even in taxi cars. I got a great picture of a Cuban flag and a red, white, and blue American car freshener hanging. So they're very happy we're here. They're very excited. They know that this is going to change their lives a bit, and it's changing it for the better. And I think that is a good message to get out. There's a lot of people I know who was a little concerned about the politics, and we're not here to support the government. We're not here to support communism. We're here to support the people. And I think us coming here has benefited people more than us not coming here because we want to make a statement about the communism. So they are going to benefit from people coming here, and I think that's important for you to know. You don't have to get into the politics of it. Just get into it with the people and see their homes, meet their families, and help them out.
So what happens when an adrenaline junkie marries a drama queen and they travel around the world on a catamaran? Come see the places, meet the people, and enjoy the experiences that make each destination special. And learn why traveling by boat provides more than just transportation, but a path to real adventure. And adventure builds character. Or was it characters? Either way, what is the worst that can happen?
Stay tuned for more at lostatsea.tv. Arr.
This is Ellen and Seth Leonard aboard Celeste. This summer, we made a 3,000-mile voyage from the Aleutian Islands to the Alaskan Arctic and back. Like all sailors, we try to pick the most protected anchorages with the best holding, but those can be rare to non-existent on the flat and windy coastline of the North Slope.
So we're anchored here in the Barrow Lagoon. It's blowing like 30 to 35.
So we definitely put our anchors to the test. Our primary ground tackle is a 45-pound Mantis, a new generation anchor. Despite some pretty rowdy conditions, we never had to reset it and it never dragged.
Yeah, the wind has picked up since this morning, and we've been checking the jig here on the anchor line here. It seems to be holding up pretty well though, so no worries really.
Thank you for watching Cruiser TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Here they are, standing in a row. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head. Killing the twist, the flick of the wrist. That's what the showman says. Hey!